Ole Gunnar Solskjaer sacked. Here we go. Salam Sejahtera and welcome to JomUnited. We are a Malaysian Manchester United fan channel. Yes, dengan bangganya Buatan, Malaysia. Okay, guys, I'm going to skip all the usual, the like, share, subscribe stuff or whatever. Yes, Doc, today you don't get to ring the bell, okay? Because today, as much as we are trying to get as many people as we can, okay, to give our thoughts and our opinions on the biggest news, the sacking of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, right? So personally myself, I'm still feeling numb. I'm not feeling happy. I'm not feeling joy out of this, all right? Because I think the problem is still there. We are not solving the problem, just merely I think probably killing off the scapegoat lah. Okay, so maybe we do a round robin. Let's start with Josh first. Okay, what's your opinion on the sacking of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer?
Long time coming. I think it was bound to happen, and eventually it happened. I wouldn't say it's too late, but because we are still in the Champions League, we are still in the Premier League, 12 points behind Chelsea. I think it's long time coming, and hopefully, I'm only looking forward for what's coming up next lah, the life after Ole lah. But you know what? Despite us, going against with each other with fans, going against the club, being quite toxic, and also all that along the way, right? I just want to say, you know what? Thank you, Ole, for doing as much as you can for the club. I think you have done what many managers couldn't have done, which is keeping the team harmony, keeping them straight, keeping them, to be motivated at the dressing room. I think that was something a lot managers couldn't do. You have your strengths, but to elevate the team to a different level, I think we need a different class of manager per se lah. Maybe it's not to your perspective in that sense, but I know to have a much better vision manager in terms of winning the Premier League, winning the Champions League, and so forth. So thank you so much, Ole, for bringing where we are. No disrespect to you, I think you have done your best part unifying the team. You got our signings eventually, and now moving forward, let's try to challenge the top 4 or even the top 2.
No one actually saying that we are going for the title or whatnot lah. Okay, Pija, just before I pass the mic to you, I just want to point out that a lot of people requesting, ever since the game yesterday, right? Everyone is asking where is Pija, whether Pija will be on today. So mati, you sakit perut ke, sakit apa ke, you gotta go live also, right? So the mic is yours, brother.
I dah dapat amaran daripada management kan. I need to perform. If I don't perform, I will be sacked. So itulah dia dengar. Management pun dengar kata fan. So nak I kena on jugalah. But then it's good to be back lah. It's good to be back. Hello everyone. Hope everyone is in a group. Oh, jangan lupa. Group kita ni ada Telegram. Masuk Telegram kita. Wajib masuk Telegram kita. Jangan lupa. Ole out, ole in, tak kisah. Masuk Telegram yang penting. Okay,
bukan setakat tu saja. I nak you bagi input, weh. Hello, you jangan guna itu Telegram untuk tutup. Because a lot of a lot of the viewers, right? Because again, we got 2 camps here all this while, the Ole in and the Ole out and whatnot. Again, everyone is equal. Everyone got their right to voice their opinions. Okay, so they want to hear from you on your opinion, because I think one thing, props to you. And then props to Doc also, you guys stayed to the very end as Ole Innes until he got sacked. So I respect you that. Respect.
Doc.
Semalam dia lompat. Sebelum kena potong dia lompat. Okay, then you alone.
Dah lah. Doc, dia one thing is for sure is that I don't, bukan I support Ole tau sebenarnya. I support whoever the manager of Manchester United. I will support him until the end. Until dia dah tak jadi manager of Man United, then I don't support him anymore lah. But like apa yang Josh kata, I just want to say thanks to Ole, because whatever he has done, mungkin some of it recognized, some of it tak recognized, but at least for the past 2 season lah, not include this season, for the past 2 season, at least dia dah bawa. I rasa excited nak tengok Man United game lah, especially on the 19 and 20 punya season. Mana there are some few games yang mana I rasa that keeps on coming in the memory lah, apa yang dia dah buat je. So especially those two game against Man City lah. Everyone keep talking about the PSG game kan. But for me, my best memory about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is that during masa 19 and 20 season mana Martial score against Man City dekat Etihad tu, jangan lupa that Martial. And then last year punya game before lockdown kan, masa tu kan masa kita all full crowd, suddenly bila dah lepas Man City game, the whole world tutup because of the COVID-19 kan. So those two games boleh kata my stand up performance that Ole build the team, get the players yang dia nak. Unfortunately macam Josh kata, dia punya level tu sampai sini saja. So I just want to say thank you to Ole lah for this one, for make me excited to watch United again, tu je, until this season.
I got a quick question. I got a very quick question. When you say you support the manager all the way, do you does that mean that you support the interim of the interim also? Michael Carrick.
Yes. but remember what you guys said last time, it cannot get any worse than this. So let's see lah apa jadi dengan interim punya ni. Would it be any worse?
Don't lah. Macam curse ke apa macam tu. Aduh.
Don't lah. It just orang kata apa, just gurau-gurau je lah. But then I really hope. Go ahead. Michael Carrick will do well lah for the club. I mean not just for himself lah, for the club lah, especially for the club lah.
Okay, another one of the person that a lot of people are hunting for to interview, to get his opinion is Brown Knight. Brown Knight is in the house, so Brown Knight, please, BK, please leave your comments. What do you think about Ole Gunnar's sacking, and then how are we going to move forward from this? All right, and I'll read it up later. All right. Okay, I'll pass the mic to Syed. Syed, yes, I read your Facebook post. It was awesome. It was funny. But then, all right, let's just share it with the guys. What's your opinion?
I mean, thank God he is gone from the club, because the state of the club, there's a mess around on the pitch, off the pitch. He should have sacked. He should have been sacked in the summers after the UL final, the Europa final. But then we got Ronaldo, Sancho, Varane. We got our hopes back. We got our excitement back. But starting from the season, it was not looking like he's going to take us to the glory days as he took us to when he was a player. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things to discuss, but at the end of the day, whatever happened. We should move on. We should look forward for what's going to happen with the club now. But you are right, like 50% of the problem is done, which is the club has finally sacked Ole. But the 50% of problem is still there, which is to hire the replacement. We are a club, we are a joke. We don't have any replacement in our hand. Like clubs like Chelsea and City, they already have 2 managers ahead in their books, like what they want to do if this manager fails. So now, I mean, I don't know. We don't have right now. Like we have Carrick as an interim manager, or as a pre-interim manager, or a caretaker for few games, and then interim for the interim. So looking forward for the next appointment, and I hope that club finally choose someone who is the right for the club, who has the credentials to manage a club like Manchester United without any feelings, vibes, sentiments, or emotions.
Yes.
Should be a logical decision. Someone who can take this responsibility, because right now this is the most difficult job in the world right now to manage Manchester United, considering the board we have, the technical department, the state of the club right now. It's a big brand. It's a big football club with huge following. We need someone huge personality to take and get back to us to the glory days.
Okay, Abang Jai, jangan opai-opai lah hari ni ah. So apa pendapat you tentang pemecatan Ole Gunnar Solskjaer?
Pemecatan, ya. Okay lah guys. Secara pendapat saya lah, kalau nak cerita pasal Ole, dia dah pergi. So the past is past. So yang paling mustahak, Ole in dengan Ole out, the fan dah boleh jadi satu United balik. Sebab Ole dah tak ada. So sekarang kita forward pada game-game yang akan datang, dan hopefully interim ke ataupun permanent manager ke boleh mengambil iktibar daripada Moyes, daripada Luis van Gaal, daripada Mourinho, dan yang terbaru ialah DNA United, the legend Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So I hope kita boleh reunited balik semula Tidak ada lagi Ole in, tidak ada lagi Ole out. Kita tak payah nak debate pasal manager apa semua. Sekarang kita move forward saja. Move forward ke depan saja. Itu yang saya nak cakap lah. Then yang untuk Ole, thank you lah. Terima kasih sebab kita kena bagi kredit sebab kita pergi final tahun lepas, kan? Kita duduk second, kita kena bagi kredit dekat Ole. Bukan kita boleh turn off, jadikan dia sebagai benda yang tak bagus. Tetapi dia bagus. Cuma untuk the level, kita harap kita dapat satu lagi manager yang boleh membawa kita ke piala. Yang paling mustahak, piala. Itu yang paling mustahak.
Cup.
Piala, yes. Cup.
Yeah. Tapi
Thank you, Ole.
For me this season, apa yang I look forward is that Maguire punya captaincy tu dilututkan.
Dia sendiri buang. Oh my god.
Okay.
Yang si Bangang tu straight away go and throw the. How can you do that? I mean, I think BK, if you're still with us, right? So far it's all positive, so I guess you're still with us. What do you think about Harry Maguire throwing the armband? I want to hear from you, especially from you. BK, please type your long essay. I want to read it out, please. Okay, all right. I'm going to pass the mic to Doc. Okay, Doc, on top of whatever you want to say, I got a question I want to ask you. Do you think that we should rush to get a manager or should we wait? And do you think that the fan base have the patience to actually, wait few months or whatnot for a proper, competent manager?
That's a very good question, Dom. I think the first key thing is to identify who your next manager is going to be and whether you can bring him in immediately or whether he needs to wait. Because remember, a lot of the choices or some of the choices are also national team managers, and none of them are going to want to leave now with the World Cup on the horizon, right? People like Deschamps, I think Luis Enrique and all that are names that have been popping up. So I think the obvious choices right now would be Zidane, probably Ten Hag as well from Ajax. But again, whether they want to join, I think Zidane, there's a lot of discussion of whether he wants to join or not. Even Ten Hag at the moment, with Ajax doing very well, both domestically and Europe, is a query whether he wants to join. Then comes what next, right? So if you look at it, Brendan Rodgers looks like the most obvious choice, not doing so well at Leicester as well. Whether he comes in as permanent or interim, I don't know. There's a lot of talk about him being the one that they want as the permanent choice. So I guess you'll have to take all that into consideration, and then also see how Carrick does. Sometimes as an interim manager, you never know. There will be everybody will be on the up, right? We happened with Ole as well. A lot of people forget, right? And a lot of the fans who are now calling for, or who have been calling for his head, were the same ones who wanted him to be permanent manager at the time when he was as interim. Everybody forgets that. So again, I mean, thanks to Ole, he did a lot of things when he came in, right? Yeah, people are going to say he never won a trophy, and that is true. But he came in at a time where the club was really toxic, right? After Mourinho, he brought everybody back together, playing some good attacking football, albeit counter-attacking football, right? Scoring goals, everything was good. We had a wonderful night in PSG, coming back from behind to win. I'm sure most of us either teared or cried or shouted in joy, right? So we know that there were some good moments, and even for the Europa League final where we went to last season, it was still a final. During the morning of the final, I was damn happy to be back in the final after about 3 years, right? So there were positives. Again, we all knew this season with the signings that came in, he had to deliver, and I think the losses to Liverpool and Man City already put him on the back foot. He was already fighting to save his job. We know that yesterday's one definitely broke the camel's back. But I think what I really have to say, and I really don't appreciate, is some of the fans who are really, telling him to F out from the club and things like that. Those are things that are not nice. He's a legend of the club, no matter what, right? And there should be some respect. Even if you're only out, you can say it in a nice way. I think that's the only thing I want to highlight. Yeah. So thanks, Ole, and I wish you the best in the future. And we hope as a club we also can move forward.
Okay. Move on to the next panel. Danny, you have been missing for like super long. So you, on top of whatever you want to say, you need to explain to everyone where you have been all this while, man.
Hey, no. Cannot tell my personal things earlier. No, I've been busy. But anyway, just a quick this one. Definitely like to thank Ole. Like I said, he's still one of my favorite players that played for United. As fans, we always say we are proud to be part of the history of the club. Ole was also he played a big part in our history in quite a few games that season. But as you all know, Ole the manager, I wasn't a big fan of him from the start. But I think he did to his best. End of the day, he is the fan. I don't think anybody would have taken the job wanting to do bad or I believe he always had the best interest and he thought he could do the job, lah. But it has reached a point that I think he needs to go. I'm even more irritated at our board because they gave him 3 matches. He didn't finish the 3 matches. They went on international break. One game after the break, they decided to sack him. No preparation. We have Carrick. We don't have what is this MCO? We all have a business continuity plan. If you already know you're going to sack the manager 3 games before the international break, why are we not prepared for what is going to come? They sent Ole for a 2 weeks break. They should have just let him go off and not come back. Have the humiliation of the last game. So even though I'm happy now that Ole has left, I'm still a bit irritated with the board of how we are handling the situation.
Okay.
That's all.
So I'll pass. I don't want to interrupt you, bro. You're always confusing. So anyway, I'll pass the mic to Raj. I think Raj, I believe you also wrote something in your Facebook. Maybe you can share your thoughts with the guys also.
First of all, thank you, Oli, for whatever that you have done for the club. Personally, I've never gone on calling names on Oli. I've never been a fan of this idea of Oli is a PE teacher or whatnot. Oli did what he could to his best of potentials, and this is the result. So my problem is when Oli is leaving, he can bunkus Maguire and take him together. That's all I want to see. I don't want to see Maguire as the club captain or anywhere near the club. If you ask me, that's my personal preference. It's not on Oli, it's on the players. I think I agree with Bruno Fernandes's reaction after. It's all over social media. I think you all can see Bruno Fernandes's reaction after the game. It's on the players. It's caused by the players. It's not the manager per se. But the manager picks the team, right? And if you keep on picking your favorites, this is what happens. This is a proof of what happens if you keep on picking incompetent, not good enough players who do not actually cut it to wear the Manchester United jersey. This is what exactly happens. But my honest reaction is we have only cured 25% of the problem because 75% of the coaching staff are still there. McKenna, Carrick, and also Phelan are all still there. The coaching staff is still there. And from what the statement that has been released from the club, they are going to choose an interim manager together with the same coaching setup, which means I feel that we might have a bounce. We might win a few games along the way. And then it's going to be back to square one. Interim manager might do well, might get a good contract like what Ole does. But until and unless the board, the Glazers, and Ed Woodward leaves this club, this problem is going to be persistent. It's been a cycle, guys. I mean, you have seen it with Van Gaal. We have seen it with Mourinho, how toxic it became at the end. Ole, it became toxic in the end. And the board, I agree with what Danny said. The board took way too long to sack him. He could have done after the Liverpool game itself. Right? They didn't do it because we didn't have game in midweek. We didn't play in the Carling or whatever, Coca-Cola or Chap Ayam Cup or whatever it is. We didn't play in that particular cup. So you could have done it then. No, they didn't do it. You had 2 weeks of international break. You didn't do it. This clearly shows the root of the entire problem is still with the board and Ed Woodward. Until that is not rectified, I believe managers will come and go like Oli. Managers will come and go like Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho was a serial winner, so he managed to win us 3 trophies. Ole, his standards, I think the best he could do for us, despite all the morale of the club being at the all-time low, was get us to 3 semi-finals and second place and 1 finals. I think he did quite okay, if you ask me. Some people are saying Moya should have been given more time. Look at what he's doing with West Ham. That is West Ham. This is Manchester United. Stop doing that particular comparison, for God's sake. And but now Manchester United can even lose to Watford, so our standards have clearly dropped. But what I'm saying is, until and unless the board leaves, this problem is still going to be there. We're going to have more Oles. We're going to have more all other managers. You can bring in Zidane, you can bring in Pep Guardiola, whoever it is. If the manager is not given full control to manage the team, the same problem is going to persist. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, we got a comment here by Ayrton. Ayrton, finally, you turn off your airplane mode already. Ayrton Soliano, class man, Ole, forever a United legend. Even though he wasn't good enough manager to take us to the next level, respect and love always for Ole. And also, congratulations, brother. We wanted to congratulate you yesterday, but then it wouldn't be nice lah. Congratulations, Ayrton, bloody Maguire. Doesn't sound nice lah. So anyway, enjoy your honeymoon. All right. So I think you can. I mean, you're already back online already, so it's all good lah. Don't have to like potong steam or whatever it is lah. Okay, guys.
Where's dog lah?
Question. I don't know. I think he got a bit emotional.
You record dog ah?
Tak ada lah. Rekat, kalau saya rekat dia dah terus keluar ni. Ini untuk I save untuk orang yang cakap pasal Martial itu I tenang. So far everything is going fine. All good.
Dia.
All good. Okay, my question is, guys, I think pretty much one of the things that actually Ole did was actually he built a team apart from that CDM, which we've been talking about it for like God knows how long. So I think if someone fairly competent comes in, I think we can actually salvage our current season. Okay, maybe we do a round robin again. Okay, Josh, what do you think?
Yes, DM is actually one of our critical positions lah, but I don't think so that should be an excuse lah. A lot of teams are using positions as an excuse, but not the top level clubs. You look at Man City, they don't have a prominent striker, but they're banging goals left, right, and center. I don't know about now, but nevertheless, we yes, CDMs is a very critical position for us, but we couldn't use that as an excuse because the formation can create the players that we have. That means we can play a 3-4-3, we can play a 3-5-2. Even like Van der Beek can play there, Matic can play there, McTominay can play there, Fred can play there. So, and they are professional players. I'm sure they can do a decent job. Given a decent day for Fred, also he might do a decent job lah, at least, right? But surrounding the players, I think they might do well. So yes, CDM is a problem, but I don't think so it's critical. I think it's the system, it's the formation, the motivation, and also the mentality of players. The first thing that I will definitely look at is not only the two central midfielders, but the whole back line of the back four lah, basically. I will just bench Wan-Bissaka, Shaw, and Maguire, give the new folks all a chance, and let them prove a point, and let us have the attacking Manchester United back to the games, because I think we should give everyone a chance to prove themselves, because now is the chance. Whoever interim, non-interim manager comes in and all those, now is the chance. Everyone is flat zero already, so prove yourself and you get the spot.
So there's hope lah. There's still hope. Okay, I'll pass it to Pijal. There's still hope for us to actually bounce back and then go past that top four. Top four too. Top four now. Top four seems like quite far away also lah. But then I'm expecting more than that lah. So you think it's a good chance? There's a hope for us to actually bounce back from this, Pijal?
Yep, I think it's macam Josh kata lah. I think it's about time. Mungkin lah orang kata now until end of the season, every players have to show themselves that they deserve to be the player of Manchester United for the new manager. I'm sure the new manager atau the next manager are going to be watching closely about Man United punya game now until end of the season. So yeah, macam Josh kata, every player has a chance prove it. And who knows, maybe the interim Carrick can give at least one trophy to us, Permanently. Nanti I tukar Carrick pula. 2008 hero.
Okay, Syed, how about you, Syed? What's your opinion? Any glimmer of hope? Anything to be excited about?
I think not anytime soon, because the state of the club is still in the mess. So the whole 3-year rebuild process was for me like completely fraud, because, for example, the state of the club means, for example, there is no youth development being done in 3 years other than Mason Greenwood. But after we signed Ronaldo, there is no youth development you can see he has done over the past 3 years. You talk about transfers, he spent a lot of money on more than the previous 3 managers after Fergie. And then, so right now, like, a new manager would have to come and have to build from the scratch. That means there is no system, there is no synergy within the team. I'm not sure about what's happening in the dressing room. Is it toxic or is it very happy? Because we all know, like, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a guy who create all the harmony. But I'm more concerned on the pitch. On the pitch, there is no harmony. No harmony means there is no style of play. They don't know, like Sancho don't know, like, should I pass to Fred, and the Fred will give the ball back to me. So the new manager, whoever it is, Carrick or any other manager in the future, has to build from the scratch, has to create its own identity into the team. Because right now there is no identity in our play, there is no identity in our formation. So I think there is a hell of a big job to be done by the next manager. So right now, like, short term, I don't have any hopes right now. But yeah, next season, pre-season, with some new signings, we shuffle around something, and then next season we can talk about is there any hope.
Okay, Jai, soalan. Okay, kalau kita compare dengan Chelsea, dengan Lampard last season, Tuchel come in. Of course, kita tak akan dapat manager. There's no available world-class manager like Tuchel lah. But if just say someone competent, dia masuk interim sebagai interim proses dalam masa berapa bulan atau minggu ni, do you think that kita ada chance tak? Since the piece of the puzzle dah kat sana. Jai.
Tapi hello, boleh?
Dengar. Dapat.
Betul sah.
Oh, okay. I ulang sekali lagi question saya. So, compare
dapat.
dengan Chelsea last season. Ya, boleh dengar. Sekarang boleh dengar.
No, I dah dengar tadi soalan tadi.
Okay. Sila. So,
sekarang ni problem dia ialah kebanyakan game semalam, kita ambil contoh game semalam, banyak yang dah damage tau, banyak yang dah rosak. Daripada segi gameplay, daripada segi Maguire punya kepimpinan as a captain. Banyak benda yang berlaku yang mengakibatkan United rosak. Jadi the first thing first, macam kita nampak, kita terpaksa cari leader dalam padang, dalam tim kita sendiri, leader, as a leader. Bukan Maguire lah. Maguire memang tak layak as a leader sekarang. So the first thing first is the leader. Sebab manage untuk satu tim mesti kena ada leader. Itu yang paling mustahak. Yang paling kedua yang interim ke manager permanent ke nak buat dekat United ialah gameplay kita. Di mana kita punya gameplay, sama ada kita ni main macam mana formation kita. Kita kena betulkan tu dulu, baru kita boleh fikir sama ada kita ada cup ataupun tak ada cup, kita duduk 4, 3, 2, 1 tak. Sebab the first kita kena tahu ialah kedudukan permainan kita dulu. Sebab kita terlalu game kita macam semalam, terlalu sangat teruk lah, sangat teruk. So itu paling mustahak yang interim ataupun manager yang permanent nak kena ambil dekat United untuk next game. Sebab itu sekarang kita kena back zero balik lah. Kita tak boleh mengharapkan something yang mungkin satu keajaiban mungkin berlaku lah. Tetapi sebab Ole pun dia plan 3 tahun. Hari ni dia dah kena set. So the plan is burst. So sekarang kita kena develop balik. Develop semula.
Okay,
Doc. You guys.
Wait, Pijal, you go first. Pijal, you pergi dulu.
Tak. I still. No. They just for argument's sake lah. Tapi kenapa you guys still kata the rebuilding or the
exactly.
Or restructuring everything
exactly.
Now?
That's why I want to push the question to Doc now. Okay. Again, respect what and also in a way I agree with what Syed and Jai mentioned. Okay, but then Doc, do you really think that we are actually that far away from actually doing something? Because again, the tedious things usually is to get players, but I believe we have the players. Okay, and then maybe we just need somebody to gel everything together. Do you still think that this is a tedious kind of task that we need rebuilding 2-3 years, or that something that we can actually do fairly quickly, Doc?
If you ask me, I think it's something that we can do fairly quickly. I mean, we all thanked Ole for what he's done in the last few years, right? And that was the process that he has done in terms of the rebuild. I think we've got decent players. Okay, he's unlucky that Varane has been injured in these last few games, and we had to go back to defensive pairing that we know was a clown show from last season already. So the
Yes.
person that he brought in to correct that has been injured. Okay, when he did play, we looked a little bit more solid at the back, to be honest. Right, when he wasn't there, again it was the clown show that we saw. In the front line, we have excellent players. We've got Sancho, we've got Rashford, we've got Greenwood, we've got Ronaldo, we've got Cavani. Now it's only in the center of the park where we have a little bit of a gap. But these are not bad players. People like McTominay, probably Matic is a little bit beyond his years. Okay, we saw the best of Van de Beek yesterday, right? We saw Fred in some games he has performed. So maybe a different manager might get them to perform better. So we have the tools. I don't think we're very far away. We have, the keepers in form. Is now the problem is we need to get our defense corrected, not conceding goals, and getting our foul line firing again. And we have the players.
You
We have
forgot to connect the defense and the forward. The gap.
True. And yesterday when the big showed some class.
Yes.
I have to
What
be,
he
I have
can
to be
actually
fair.
do. Yes.
What
yes,
he
yes.
can do. I always don't believe in this. Defensive midfielders only doing a defensive job, and attacking midfielders doing only an attacking job. We've played with midfielders who can do both, right? I'm not specifically targeting Pogba here because even our defensive midfielders are doing only a defensive job and not pushing forward. It's all around. Our midfielders should be complete midfielders, and that would and that is something Van de Beek showed yesterday. He was going in for tackles. He was
Tenacious,
up front
yeah.
creating chances, and he scored. Right, that's what we want. He was tenacious in the tackle as well. Right, so that's what we want. And maybe a different manager with a different tactics, with better insights, might be able to get the best out of the players. I don't think we're that far away. Actually, we have good players on our roster. It's a matter of getting them to gel.
Okay, we got a comment here by Ong Kipin. Okay, the president of East of
Hey,
Manchunia.
Uncle Ong.
Hui, Uncle Ong. Forget the manager lah. Get a proper CEO and DOF in the development develop a blueprint before even hiring a manager. Okay, basically what he means is hello doc. Okay, how about you, Danny? Do you think that we are far away or we still need that 2-3 years?
No lah, bro. To put it this way lah, you had a contractor who wants to build a house. He's been buying the cement, the stone, everything, but his skill is not at that level. Now you're just bringing another more skillful contractor to come to just finish up the house. So I think we have the players, we have everything at hand. They just need to be told what to do. A certain direction need to be given. I think a proper manager or a whole coaching staff is just drilling on what the idea of the manager is to the players. You can't go and tell me Ronaldo, Sancho, Rashford, Varane, and all these players need another 1-2 years to rebuild. They are all professional players. It's not like the new manager is coming in teaching them how to hit the ball, kick the ball. It's basically just getting their fitness and motivating them. The team really looks drained in the last few matches. It's like they don't know what's going on the pitch, and everything's erratic and shambolic. So I really think if you get a proper manager at this moment, stopgap, the team will gel. We are still in the FA Cup. We are still in the Champions League. Even if you don't go for the Premier League, it's fine. Top 4 finish. Everything is possible. So I don't see why a new proper coach or manager won't be able to take us far.
Okay, Raj, how about you, Raj?
I still feel the problem is I agree with Ong Kipin, Uncle Ong. I still feel the board needs to go. I mean, remember last year, at one point, all of us were so united. We were against the board and Glazers for trying to actually sell this whole idea of a European Super League. I think until the board goes, until that board leaves, these problems will be persistent. I mean, there is definitely going to be a bounce from the players because the players we have are world class. The manager is going to come in for world class. My question is, how long will it be? Because this cycle happens, and then after 2 to 3 years, and then it all comes crumbling again. So which means the problem is we have a CEO who's a banker, who's not a footballer, who has zero football intelligence, and he's saying he's leaving and still scamming everyone. He's the biggest scam artist in town. I feel Ed Woodward is the biggest scam artist in town. He's taking the whole United board for a ride because he's just milking money out of everything. and he said he's going to leave. It's going to be December, and he's still making decisions. He was even involved in getting Ole out of the club yesterday. So where is this heading to? Glazers, they are more interested in NFL. They are more interested in trying to milk money from NFL, and they have zero knowledge on the culture, the upbringing, the tradition of the club. I think we as fans, we are more passionate. We have more passion, and we know about the club better than the Glazers put together. The only difference is we don't have the money; they do have the money. So I do feel that until the board and Ed Woodward don't leave, this problem we might have a small bounce. We might bounce from this for some time, right? Carrick might bring something, and then an interim manager, rumors are Ronald Koeman might come in with his man, with his Mary McDonald man or whatever, whoever it is that comes in, might actually do something until the end of the season. The board might be impressed because they are good boys with the board. The board might give them another 3 years, and we will be back to this in 3 years from now. Is 2024. We'll be having the same conversation. JomUnited in 2024 will be arguing on whoever the manager is to go out. So until the board, until the CEO don't leave, this problem will be a cycle.
Because like we gave Ole Gunnar Solskjaer a new contract in the summers. And
Exactly.
after 5 months, the same guy sacked the manager who gave him the 3-year new contract. And the Mike Phelan, we gave him a new contract just 47 days ago, from
Correct.
calculating from today. And now we are sacking those people which we recently gave the contract. So it's complete.
Jose
mess
Mourinho
over
was
there.
given a contract just before his tenure ended. This
Yeah.
shows this kind of thing shows the incompetence of the board, incompetence of Ed Woodward as a CEO. He's just, I think he plays FIFA and then he decides who are the players he's going to buy in the summer. That's how he
So
does things, probably.
I think if you're talking about the long term, that means we have really a huge problem. So maybe
Correct.
it's not so much about the Ole in and the Ole out. It's more about the Glazers out.
Correct.
So I think many of us, even myself also, we kind of like forgot about this Glazers out movement thing.
Correct.
The moment they sign players and whatnot. I mean, we were aware that they are going to do that to blind us, and then actually
the moment they got us Sancho, the moment they got us Ronaldo, everything we totally
forgot.
shifted all the focus. It was Viva Ronaldo and all those things. Everything was going on. Glazers know, okay, we have done good business. We are going to sell good jerseys. This season is going to be fantastic. And then all of a sudden, Ole happens. They just drag. A sack that should have happened like a month ago takes about 4 weeks too late. Should have been done in the international break. They asked him to go back to Norway for God knows what reason. Right?
But guys, okay, I got a question.
Yeah, bro.
Random, because we are always on Glazers out, even though they have been giving us the money and whatnot. So the fans, we asked for Glazers out because we wanted more. We wanted our United DNA and United whatnot. Technically, now everybody who's leading the club besides Woodward and the Glazers are of United history, right? So are we still blaming the Glazers for giving the fans what they wanted?
No, we are blaming the Glazers because they are not to say they're not giving what the fans wanted. They are giving all inexperienced talk. They're not giving the best that is for the fans.
Yeah, but the fans wanted
basically
the fans are getting what they want.
Keep up with the yes man who can actually stand by the club. Ole was a people pleaser. Let's not run away from that.
Not so much about that. Also, I think it's more like there's no proper planning. Probably like whatever you want, I'll give it to you. Then that's it. Without actually, like I think Syed, you brought up this point that many teams, I mean, clubs or whatever, even football, whatever, NFL, whatever it is, they actually have backup plan in case something happens and whatnot. Because if you invest a certain money into a certain club, an asset or whatnot, you do your best to take care of it. Okay, you got contingency plans and whatnot. So I think in a way, what Raj is trying to say that the Glazers, they are not actually doing that for us. Okay, so regardless of what the fan wants and whatnot, the end of the day is what the Glazers, the owners, what they want out of the club. Do they want to make this a successful football club, or do they just want to like simply throw a bit of peanuts, please the fans, continue milking money? I think that's what Raj is trying to say, right? Maybe. Raj, you can continue.
Exactly, bro. The thing is, they just needed a shield to actually get away with it. So last time when the movement was very hot, they were almost going to go topsy-turvy. That is when they immediately signed Sancho, and then they saw the window to sign Ronaldo. They signed it, and they know fans are happy. They are not going to focus on us.
And even like the appointment of the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is just to please the fan. Like we fans are very emotional. Obviously, we love the club.
Exactly.
We
Yeah.
don't have any stakes in the club. We only have our heart and our life with the club. So they know how to play with our hearts. So they are smart enough to hire Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, give him a contract. So we are bound to support him because he is an ex-player, because he scored the 99 goals. Maybe they all know the theory, how we are going to react and how we are going to die hard fans is going to support Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. That's how they are playing with our club. And I think
Okay.
Ronaldo signing is also exactly the same thing for me. I mean, commercially, yes. Sentiments, yes. Maybe we need it. Maybe we don't need it. We needed some other players, maybe. But that's how they play with us.
So, but anyway, guys, I think we're at the end of our show today. I'm sorry, BK wanted to put you on, but then we are capping our time and whatnot. So maybe the next time around we'll get you on because I got some questions for you personally as well. Okay, so like usual, please like, share, subscribe. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, yes. It was a nice ride. Okay, it was fun when it lasted. Regardless, we still
Have
love
fun in
you.
Norway.
Regardless, we still love you and then we still respect you as a legend of this club. And with that, good night, guys. We'll see you guys in the next video.
All right.